Hello, everyone. We are now going to look at the fourth definition that the Catechism of the Catholic Church gives us on adoration. It talks about the homage of the Spirit of the King of Glory. And we also have come to the end of our first part of the first end of prayer, namely adoration. The adoration, that of the homage of the Spirit of King of Glory. Hearing these words may say to ourselves, wow, prayer is difficult. It's complex. I don't really understand. However, this beautiful passage of the Catechism of the Catholic Church, when it says the homage of the Spirit of the King of Glory, we have to realize, as we've looked at in our introduction of our talk, that prayer is not another thing to do. It is not a method. And that leads us to the third maxim of our life of prayer. An adoration of giving the homage or adoration of the Spirit. It is a rest. Prayer should be a rest for each one of us from doing multiple things. It is a time to exhale. It is a time maybe even to sigh. Why? Because, to put in the words of the psalmist, he knows me through and through. He is like being a friend to me. And that's what we see in the great master of Teresa of Avila. She says prayer is a relationship between two friends. And this should be a moment to relax, a moment to rest. It is a moment also to be honest with the Lord, to rest in Him. Sometimes we don't have words to express in prayer, and that is okay. And also sometimes it's even difficult to put into words what we are wanting to say to our Lord. And that is where we come into the moment where we give a homage of our spirit to God. Helping us to understand this is St. Augustine's definition of the task or the work, the labora of prayer. St. Augustine says this, and I quote, "This task of prayer is generally accomplished more through sighs than words, more through weeping than speech. It may seem strange to each one of us, but sighing is a sort of relaxation. Much is released from our soul when we sigh." It makes me think of the words and the actions of Jesus at the cross. We remember Jesus said at the cross, "Father, into your hands I commend my spirit." And lastly, he cried out, maybe a sigh, in a loud voice, and breathed his last. The Catechism of the Catholic Church gives us an excellent instruction on these two actions on the part of Jesus at the cross. First of all, he is invoking Psalm 31, where it shows that he is being totally submissive to the will of God, even unto death. His example also shows us how we too can transform our sufferings, our deaths, and our redemptive acts of love and obedience to the Father who is in heaven. And when we do this, brothers and sisters, when we transform our own suffering, our own deaths, our own acts of love, and our own obedience, we can sigh, and we can also rest in Him. For He says, "Come to me, and you will find rest for your souls."